I don't know if you're ready. What I'm about to tell you might be too much to take in. People always hurt to let go of their pre existing beliefs, especially the ones meaning to their being. I don't know how to sequence it. It so happens that meaning never comes in order. The things understood first might be the ones to say at last. So, excuse my lousy storytelling skills and hear and rehear this podcast till you can give it at least 5 different meanings. And once you have those conclusions, take with you and keep in your heart what resonates best. This is how you need to hear these stories of my internal journey. Such are the instructions because this podcast is the product of my brain, the holy grail of my perspective. I apologize in advance if it does not resonate with you even after hearing and rehearing it. In that case, just save my heart, take it as something someone experienced. I hope this way it gets you some means of entertainment, and if that's not the case too, and you think you wasted your time, in my belief, nothing happens to you for no reason. You might not immediately find this time spent to add value to your life, but you may see, as I learned too, that sometime, if not in this life, but somewhere down in time, it should. Should. For saving the identities of the people who were in my life at the time this was happening, I thought I should at first take the essence of the things happening to me, the things that happened in the said story, and write it in a fictitious manner. But that only got me so far. And because this is my brain that I'm literally trying to put down in words, I thought so it would guide you closer to the true meaning of what I'm trying to convey, that I should include a user manual, and since my brain works as such, this would be included within the text of this podcast in spurts here and there. Mind it. And with that note, you're getting ready, I think. I'd like to believe you never know the truth. What you said is true to you, and what I know is true to me. Both are true, but not always so to each other. So what do I know? I don't even fully understand what knowing is. I believe all we can do is try to understand, and what we believe becomes what we know. My ex made it very practical, or so I understood, because he ended us because he believed it was the practical thing to do. Love is not practical. Love is self-sacrificing. It's unconditional giving without expectation. When I started this journey, I was a certain way, different from who I am now. I thought I was experienced and had learned and been tested in ways some people could only have achieved in a whole lifetime. But now that I look at it, it was just the beginning of it all. After that, I've been tested so much and felt things that make me believe that true wisdom is in knowing that you're always learning, in knowing that you don't know. So that is how I question the existence of knowing. Pretty cool if you ask me. I often question the existence of all things. I don't know why. Maybe it's because that's what intrigues me the most. Existence. Let me tell you about it. Call it a story within a story, if you may. Keep up with me. It started back when I was in 8th grade. I was good at school till a certain age. Then I started questioning the existence of it. I started asking questions about why I needed to go through it all. Why was I needed to study history? Why did I need to remember things that didn't even directly happen to me? I was more concerned about the purpose of existing. Why did I have to be, I questioned. Why be like this, the way the world was teaching us to exist? Why did I have to go to school, get a job, get married and reproduce? Why sustain? Why let the human race live on and deplete resources that exist? Why suck this planet dry? What was the purpose of the human race living on in this universe? And if I could just add here, don't you feel that somewhere how the planet carries us is also how we carry ourselves? You will see a projection of your true soul in everything around you and about you. Just stay true. When you know you're pulling that shit, tell yourself, keep listening to this podcast. Why did I have to go to school, get a job? Okay. There must be a reason for it, a larger picture. At that time, I couldn't find the right words to understand and explain what I was feeling. I recently realized there is something more, a bigger picture. Let me explain further and how I reached here. Please be patient. I came here by believing as there is a greater good, there is a greater evil also at play. I would love to hear your comments or your thoughts about what you think the greater evil could mean. And if you send me your queries at Unicorn Rebooted, I would love to have a chat with you and get you on my podcast. Yeah, that's the Instagram handle that I'm publicizing here. That is at Unicorn Rebooted. I was in an existential crisis, so I started trying to understand. I started with trying to understand myself. I believe it is through the process of understanding oneself that one has a great relationship with oneself. And a relationship built with such deep understanding of the energy. You can energize this energy because you know exactly what it is. You know your strengths and weaknesses that you have. You know how to work with them. You know how to convince yourself to do the right thing. While you also understand your own journey and the way you take to reach that right path. Not just any direction given out to you. You are your own mentor. You are your own teacher. You are your own police and judge. Correct, you might have some laws that might sway as per your environment and situations, but there are some fundamental rights or core values that you have that are just like who you are, and it takes a lot to change that. I wish I could talk more about how these laws and principles change and affect each other, but that knowledge only comes through experience of oneself. I could talk about mine in detail, but first I want you to give a thought about what I have said in accordance to your own experience. What changes people? What moves you? It's a small activity, and I should announce to you now that I will give small activities as such throughout this podcast. I have tried in the past before starting this podcast to start this podcast, but never could find the gush that I have right now. It's only after undergoing a certain experience that I have gathered enough realization to conceptualize what I mean and give it a flow. Actually, I had another realization of my voice and who I am rather recently, and one continues to do this forever. So if you ever feel like you want to express yourself and aren't able to, be patient, positive, and persistent, and one day you will realize it as often as we realize things much after we've passed. Positive, patient, and persistent. That was my mantra for a very long time. This is another but very much relevantly connected story. Let's go into my past again. Feelings of apprehension started with the feeling of someone watching me in my childhood while I lay in my first depression. That was in 6th grade when my parents started insisting I start sleeping on my own. As it turned out to be, I was extremely attached to my mother, and being without her shook the foundation of my world. But that wasn't the only reason for my sadness. It was because of all my friends turning against me and bullying me. My crime? Borrowed a pen I never returned. A bit harsh now that I look back at it. I was a kid, I made mistakes. But things always seem so awful and like the end of the world when you're little. Though it's not the end of the world. I think to feel like it only to be reassured that it's not is a very important lesson. It kind of lets off a cue to the secrets of the universe. It gets better, only to get worse again. Now, it depends on you if you're a glass half empty or half full kind of a person. Another secret, you can be whoever you want to be. Coming back to the story, it took me 2 years before, I don't remember how, but people got over it. And when things moved forward, so did I. Talking about the bullying here, I was glad it stopped, but the progress was so slow it felt like a river running its course to the sea. Yes, this was around the same time I had the what's the purpose of the human race in this universe dilemma. I was growing more and more into an individual. For me, life has always been about love. I believe life is about the quality of it, and what better quality to have than to being in a state of mind where you are actively in love with everything you do and is done to you. It started with me obsessing over my crush, imagining scenarios in my head. One specific one I remember is that if ever our school was infiltrated and taken over by terrorists, I would gladly take a bullet for him or sacrifice my life for his if they shoot their way to express to him and to let him know that I love him that much. Kinda sappy, yeah, I know. I ended up telling him sometime after that what I feel for him. With those very brave 3 words. My legs shivered, my gaze immediately dropped after I looked into his eyes, and I blurted it out as it felt like a dream and I couldn't believe I said it. But I said it. I like you. My head stopped and everything after that was a blur. But you must know, he not even the slightest bit felt the same way. That was my first I like you ever. The next time, it didn't take me years before I confessed to my next crush. It only took one. 10 months to be precise, and after much drama, he said he felt the same way. He was my first love, and a lot of other firsts, but this isn't that kind of a podcast. Long story short, I was in love. There was a lot of ups and downs. I remember how toxic that love was, how drained it made me feel. For years, I cried myself to sleep. I had started self-harming too. Maybe for attention, but that's just how he made me feel. I was uncared for. Now that I look back at it, I blame it on not building a strong foundation of friendship and trust before we entered into a relationship. I got to know recently that he was acting like he didn't care because he really didn't. He was cheating on me the whole time. I never made that mistake again. I could go on and on about all the ways I was wronged, but I will skip to what I took from it. Some may use this lack of information as an excuse to not empathize with my pain, but as it turned out, he was more toxic to me than I was to myself. I didn't feel hurt because I felt hurt and I understood. I gave him my all. I was always the one to beg him to stay, and he always had something better to do and an excuse for not giving me all of him at hand. He ended a 3.5-year-old relationship over text because he realized one day that otherwise would lead to marriage, and he just didn't like me that much. Around the same time, I saw the death of a close family member too. After screenshotting a lot of Tumblr quotes, a couple of getaways, sickness of mental health that led to sickness of physical health, and a full-fledged existential crisis, I took my first step in a long time towards my spiritual journey. It came because even after everything, I was coming from a place of love and understanding, and a feeling of aloofness and distance from the rest of the world. I had a newfound ability to be both in a situation and view it as an observer. I realized soon after a quest to know about the spirit that I can see the color of and feel auras very well. The existential crisis still existed, but then to resolve it, I started questioning and answering everything. I became my own counselor. An extract from my diary at the time to explain what I mean with an example of how I felt about my work and education of that time. When the only thing you have to do is the only thing you want to do, but you're still not satisfied. Are you not satisfied because you want to do it and you want to make sure you do it right? Or are you not satisfied because you are still not doing it? Is it because I have to do it and there are deadlines, like you're forced to do it a certain way? If you can't meet the deadlines, then you're wasting time on things that never will be complete. Why? Why do you feel like you don't want to do the work you just said you wanted to do? Isn't it that you give up when it gets tough? And when does. Isn't it that you give up when it gets tough? And what does that achieve you? No improvements take place and you get stuck. So don't give up. The end of the extract. Initially, after the first heartbreak, even though I accepted and understood the things I had to go through, I was a little better. No, I didn't stop loving. In fact, I loved harder. Because my hurt might be deep, but my love was deeper. It was just that because of my limited experiences, I could only think about love a certain way. I guess I had to go through the love is not what I thought phase while also feeling like I can't commit because I won't let anyone in and I have only flings. Not that I didn't want to commit. It's just that the while wanting to commit, I never found anyone who feels the same intensity of feelings for me. So I just believed that nobody feels and everybody is broken and I need to be like them in order to save my heart. But acting like this never saved me. It made me feel empty and endure dense. I feel when you're going through life, you go through a lot of phases. And my philosophy is that anyone you are, love yourself and embrace each phase as if each one is the one. Maybe I didn't succeed, but I tried to be the best of who I was. So I guess in a way I did advance. I grew from it. I'm not the same person I was in that phase, but I carry the memories and lessons with me. I have battled with conclusions drawn from how love was told and depicted to me, and what was glorified in movies, songs, and books. And in this podcast, I will support the information provided with explanations and experiences and thought processes of those times. It's been a while that I've maintained a diary and journal full of thoughts and feelings from the point of it being overwhelming to a point of it forming a basic structure. I intend in my future podcasts to just talk about that. I intend to use this platform to reach out to people who think alike and at least make those people think about and question life around them as it is. I've thought about how to put my thoughts out there. I could just tell you how things feel to me, or I could take you with me into my brain and create a world where we could feel together. A place where we both and all can question things and answer them. Share our thoughts and experiences as I welcome you and take you along on this life's journey of mine. I would hope you find this enthralling enough to really alter the way you see the life around you. And once I get you to alter your thought process and make you believe in the beauty of this universe, I would feel I've met the purpose of starting this podcast.